Nobody talks about how many times you restart before you even start a project. This time, luckily, it was just a drill bit, but you are going to make mistakes. And that's okay, just as long as you're safe. The power is off, so here we go. The first thing I always do is take a few good pictures, different angles so I know exactly what the setup is. This one is the power coming from the breaker, and it's one of my hot lines. The one next to it is another hot wire that's piggy-tailed into the second switch, so that way the power is fed to it. And this one up top goes downstream to my lights, and that's my load. This is my grounding wire, and it's currently not connected to this switch, but it will need to be connected to the new switch, since I'm installing a dimmer and it needs to be grounded. The neutral wires, the white ones, are in the back, and those are all piggy-tailed together. They don't need to connect to the light switch, they are just there to make sure the power runs continuous and completes the loop. This switch is old as balls. Sometimes I try to save things and salvage them to be donated. Not this guy. This is his last leg. So I tried to use the push pin to get it out. It was not coming out. So I went with my handy dandy pliers, broke it, and pulled it out anyway. She's free! And now because I've taken pictures, I know which ones are my hot wires and my load wires. I just connect them in. Simple enough, you push them in, and then you take your screwdriver and you tighten it via the side with that screw. Don't worry, if it comes out, you can do it again. And now I'm doing the same thing again with the load wire. So the ground wire we need to do a bit differently. You can see they're all bundled together back here with some really long pieces at the end. At the time, I didn't have the cap that you could just pull the wire through, because that would have solved my problem, as they were already bundled together and I just needed one piece to go into the light switch. So what I'm doing here is cutting off the really long extra bit, and then I'm going to pigtail that into the rest. Cap it off so just this one piece is sticking out, and then I'm going to connect that into the light switch. If I were to do it again, I would have just used a longer piece of wire to give myself some extra breathing room to get it into the light switch. There are these really cool things called Wago lever nuts. You push the pins into them, you can lift them up, you can reuse them. Much easier to use. I just didn't have one on hand when I was doing this. To me, they're a bit more user-friendly and beginner-friendly than trying to piggy-tail in this way. Now I'm just capping off the cords that I'm not going to use, so only one piece is sticking out, and that's the one that I'm going to put into the back of the light switch. And again, just like the other wires, I am going to push it into the back, and then I'm going to use my screwdriver to tighten it into place on the side. Then I gently push it back into place, make sure it fits, and I start on replacing the second light switch, because we couldn't leave that guy in place. Once everything is connected and tightened, you're going to push it gently back into the wall and screw into place. You want to put the cover back on before the power comes on. Ask me why. Please, ask me why. And that's it. She looks so much better, and now she can dim.